You ever get called to an awake fiber optic intubation and you get a little shaky when it happens? Well, here's my 5 tips for optimizing the situation for an awake fiber optic intubation. Number 1 is to give the Robinul really early. Go to wherever you're going to be, meet the patient in pre-op, give them the Robinul. You want to dry up those mucous membranes. The reason is the saliva creates a barrier between your local anesthetic and the mucous membranes. So when you're aerosolizing or using some sort of viscous lidocaine or something, the saliva really prevents it from getting absorbed. So you give that Robinul, dry the mucous membranes up, and then the local get absorbed a lot more. Tip number 2, use a lot of local. Aerosolize it, nebulize it, have them gargle it, spray it down their nares, whatever you have to do, but be generous with local anesthesia. You really want to make them really, really numb in the meantime. The next big one is to use remifentanil. I think remifentanil is like a secret golden ticket for fiber optic intubations. You turn high dose remifentanil on and you could put a fork in somebody's eye and it wouldn't bother them. So it works really well for awake fiber optics because it's normally really, really stimulating, making them cough and gag. They do a lot better with it. Oh, another pro tip, Zofran help blunt the gag reflex. My next tip is the nasal cannula. If you have high flow nasal cannula, works amazing for awake fiber optics. It actually expands the airway, works really well. Patients can't tolerate it super high, like 60 liters, but like 20 liters, they can tolerate it. The high flow nasal cannula works great. If you don't have that, even low flow, if you're going orally, and put the nasal cannula real high flow is up in the nose. If you're going to the nose, put it in the mouth. That'll really, really help. The next tip is positioning. Positioning is really key. It's always key with intubation, right? It's good positioning. If the patient's in respiratory distress, they may have to be sitting up to do it. They might not let you lay them down, which is okay. Doing it sitting up is fine. You just have to be comfortable with everything being backwards, right? If you're facing the patient with your fiber optic, everything's backwards. I prefer the sniffing dog position. If you can have them, laying back a little bit with their head up in the sniffing dog position, that works really well for the awake fiber optic. And my last tip isn't really a awake fiber optic tip, something else, I suppose, but it's related. It's something I like to call the awake look with the Glidescope. You do a really good job localizing, right? Give your Robinul really early, do a ton of aerosolize, nebulize, lidocaine, and have them gargle viscous lidocaine. If you do a really good job with that, and you have your remifentanil turned up really high, then what you can do is you can actually put a Glidescope and they'll tolerate. Sometimes they'll actually tolerate the Glidescope and you can get a look. So maybe you don't even need the fiber optic. Maybe you numb them up well enough. You have the remifentanil going, you put the Glidescope in there and you actually can see. Maybe in that point you put the Glidescope in and you have a nice view of the cords and you just go for it. And you just intubate. Maybe not. Maybe you can take a look in there and you see, oh, yeah, there's a big problem in there. There's a lot of structures in the way. It's going to be an issue. But sometimes you can get a view and then just go for it. So those are my 5 tips. What are yours? I'd love to hear from you.